Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on which part of the world you are in. I'm very glad to welcome all of you to today's webinar, and I'm also accompanied by my co-host and partner, Veronica Yusuf. So both of us will be presenting this webinar for about an hour, and I'm very glad that we signed up, like with Sterling Tech and Adaptive, we signed up a partnership recently. And this is going to be a joint effort by both the organizations to reach out to business analysts around the world. Sterling has a good presence in UK. We have a good presence in US and Canada. These are the two regions where we do reasonably well. So with this new partnership, it will actually expand our offerings to wider audience. So let me go back and start from here. And let me congratulate all of you for taking time out today for this webinar. And remember, people who learn, they grow. It's as simple as that. If somebody refuses to learn, they refuse to grow as well. And I'm very glad that you are the folks who are willing to learn and grow in your professional career. So what is it that we will cover in today's webinar? So obviously, we would like to talk a little bit about IIBA certifications because ECBA comes from IIBA as well. How certifications help you in your professional journey. Then there has been a major change that IIBA has implemented with ECBA. In fact, it's just about 10 days as we are speaking today. On 21st July onwards, the new ECBA scheme has been launched. So we would like to understand the new ECBA scheme requirements. Then, of course, we will talk about how do you go about preparing yourself for the new ECBA certification and what kind of support you can expect from Adaptive and Sterling while you prepare for your ECBA. And of course, we would like to keep about 10 to 15 minutes in the end towards Q&A option. Also remember, we are going to announce a $300 worth of additional benefit at the end of the webinar. So those of you who stick around can take benefit of that particular coupon code. Quick bit about myself. I am a practicing BA for more than 27 years now. Has been quite a long time. And in fact, I started my BA profession when the word business analyst was not being used. So the first business analyst role I played was called a consultant. The second one was called a functional consultant. So we were known in different names. And even today, I think there are a lot of people who don't call themselves as business analysts, but they are performing business analysis.
That's right.
Couple of world records on my name. One, I have assisted probably the world's highest number of professionals to get IIBA certified. As I speak to you, it stands at about 2256 or something like that. I'm also the first BA in the world to hold all 7 IIBA certifications. And until IIBA comes up with an eighth certification, I can hold that world record. And I think if IIBA comes with an 8th certification, I will do it quickly as well. I have been part of IIBA standards and exam setting committees, been part of the new standard that came. I was part of the review committee as well. Mostly, I spend my time in training, writing about business analysis. I've written about 20 books on business analysis itself. So I would let Veronica speak about herself and then she can kind of take you through a bit of a presentation. I will come back where she stops.
So where do I even start after that sort of intro? I mean, I feel like a baby compared to you. So yes, Veronica Yusuf is my name. I'm nowhere near, all that you just heard from Ellen now, but I'm the founder of Sterling Tech Solutions. We are registered here in the UK. We like to say we have a global reach because we have participants, students, however you want to call them, engaging with us from all over the world. So we've got people from Canada. Sometimes we have students from the US, Africa, and of course the UK. And we are, of course, endorsed by the IIBA recently, I think for a few years now. I've been practicing I've been a practicing business analyst for a good number of years, even though I made a recent pivot. But my very first business analysis role was called an ITBA for a university here in the UK. Very fresh then, and I was just really excited about business analysis. I still am. I like to refer to myself as a BA by nature, so a business analyst by nature. I love it very much. So, I mean, I've worked across different organizations, both within private and the civil services here in the UK as a business analyst. I've worked with companies like JLR, universities within the UK. So I've been in the higher ed practicing as business analyst for a good number of years as well. I've got several certifications and not as many as LN's one, but I first of all started with the BCS, which of course is familiar or popular here in the UK. So your British Computer Society, and I am qualified all the way up to the international business analysis. So I've done all 5 modules, and I'm also a career coach. I still train BAs and help BAs or people who are professionals who are looking to get into business analysis. So I help them to kind of, I train them to say, right, how do you even start? Because my story was moving from strategic human resource management, which I have a master's in, into business analysis. So I feel like I have a winning method, as it were, or a strategy, which is what I built my coaching program around. And also within Sterling Tech, we have been running for close to 6 years, sort of training people in both business analysis, project management, and a few other courses. But recently decided to get endorsed or to get into partnership with Adaptive US, because we felt like that gives us more global coverage and recognition. And that's kind of where, that's how we started. And hopefully we look forward to amazing future collaboration like this, and to be able to serve the BA community going forward. So that's me done. Thank you. Next slide, please. Okay, so we have a pop quiz, which I don't know whether we want people to respond or do we ask them to pop it in the chat. But here you go. It says, choose a smartphone you will purchase. Okay. Sorry, something has just popped up. I'm not
I
sure what that
have
is.
launched the
Oh, that is
poll,
you, right? Okay, okay.
Veronica.
So if you were, so again, okay, that's a poll there. What would you go for? Would you go for the branded smartphone or the unbranded one? So one is just $800. Of course, it's cheaper and unbranded, whilst the branded one is $1,000, but of course, it's got a brand. So which one would you go for? Would you let us know, please, by responding in the poll? I will give that a few minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody has participated.
Okay,
So we see 93% saying branded,
there you go.
88% saying branded, 12% saying unbranded, which is what we generally see.
Yes, of course. Makes sense. Next slide. Okay, so yeah, of course, I think it's very simple, isn't it? Just as simple as it says on the tin. Most of us would, of course, go for the branded because we feel that a lot would have gone into that. Anything that has a brand is not what you pick up from the street. So a lot of rigor would have gone into that. And of course, you will feel like there is credibility, with that brand rather than, something that has no name at all. So there's a lot of benefits that that will come with a branded product, as it were. And of course that also applies to what we're talking about today. Whilst one might be cheaper, face value feels like, oh yeah, this is just it's a lot cheaper, but it might not have gone through the sort of rigor that a brand would go through for it to actually have it branded, and all of the pecs that we all are familiar with when it comes to branded products. So I guess that's the same that applies even with this subject matter that we are going to unpack today. So can we have the next slide, please? Yeah, so again, we feel like it's got better quality, there's warranty, of course, a lot of rigor would have gone into the preparation and the production of that product or that item, and you feel a lot more assured if, yes, if, for example, you buy a Nike pair of trainers versus a no-name trainers, you feel like, well, okay, because it's got the Nike name, chances are that it will be more durable it'll last longer, and there might just be warranty. Well, it maybe not with Nike, but probably with electronic products and all of these things that would have warranty. So there are a few pecs there. So let's talk about why we think you should get trained and certified. Let me tell you a quick story. When I started out as a business analyst, I mean, like I said, I had done a master's in strategic human resource management, so I was exploring HR. And then after a few years, I thought, okay, let me explore getting into tech via the BA route. And then I started, preparing. I did some certifications. I said, just learning generally. And eventually I got an interview with a university, and I gave it my best, right? But before that, I had done my first BA foundation certificate, which I was very proud of. And then I attended that interview. Of course, I got the job. And so when I was hired, one of the questions I asked my manager at the time, I said, "So why did you pick me?" Because what they said to me was that I made it to the top two, but then they decided to go with me, and I wanted to know why. And they said it was because I was certified, whereas the other person had more experience seemingly, but didn't have a certification. And as a university, that was a deal breaker for them. And so why I've said that is that in the sense that we talk about other things that you can do, like maybe getting practical hands-on experience and all of that. But sometimes that certification might just be what will move the needle, like it did for me. In a lot of organizations these days, they just prefer that they hire certified BAs because of what you would have gone through to attain that certification. So it's very important. Also, that also made sure that I was earning, I was able to negotiate because I felt like, well, I'm certified and I've got this and I've got that. But the certification was something that I was able to bargain with. So it gives you that bargaining power as well. So that's why it's important that certification should be a no-brainer. It should be, if you are really serious about business analysis, it's important that you get certified. Apart from the fact that, yes, it could be that, what would determine whether it's a yes or a no. If, you find yourself in a similar situation like I did in my own case, that was what moved the needle. And they said, right, oh, she's got the foundation in business analysis, would rather hire her against the other person. And also, I think it also helps you to grow faster because you would have gone through, the material as you prepare, of course. So it broadens your knowledge of business analysis. You get familiar with the key concepts, and all that you find in the business analysis body of knowledge. So you're just not someone who is just surfing on the internet for things here and there. But if you are, of course, on this part to being certified, there will be structure, and it helps to bring all of the material in those knowledge areas into one, kind of bring it together, and therefore you're more focused, and then you can, just carry on, and you grow along the way as well. And of course, I like the fact that it gives you that higher confidence at work because you would have gone through the training, you would have gone through the, preparation, if you like, before you get certified, and therefore you can always draw on all that you would have picked up even whilst you're on the job. So there's a lot of benefits to being certified. And that's one, I think, is that one you will cover now, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, I'll let you carry on there because I think that's
sure,
that's
sure.
starting
Thank you,
from your end.
Veronica. Thank
Yeah.
you. So I think let's understand why IIBA thought of updating or upgrading the ECBA program. This, in fact, has been one of the champion products from IIBA. In just about 9 years' time, we have more than 15,000 ECBA certified professionals in the world. It's a huge achievement for IIBA. But then the feedback that I have received from the industry is some of this test pattern was very memory driven, like you just remember and apply in the exam, but you're not learning the practical situations. So that's why it wanted to make the new BAs or people who are wishing to become a business analyst more practice oriented. So that's why this certification scheme got changed. And it, of course, has a couple of other impacts as well, which I will talk. But the intent is to make BAs job ready very soon as they
Yeah.
complete the program. That's one of the key aim of this particular major change. So IIB is not expecting people to remember Babak, which was the kind of the case earlier, but now apply the concepts of business analysis at work. And if you see this particular circle that I have drawn, if you see the BA as a practice, business analysis as a practice, there can be variety of perspectives. So one could be business software system requirements analysis, like it's a big word that I've written, but that's where the current BAs come from. Most of the BAs come from a software system requirements background.
Mm.
But then data is becoming very popular. Many BAs are looking at data analytics career. Product management is becoming popular. Cybersecurity is becoming popular. So what IIB started doing is to create guidebooks for other perspectives as well. So those guidebooks are already present. Maybe I'm expecting over a period of time, we may have a process guidebook, a strategy guidebook, an AI guidebook. And I believe it'll take some time. I'm not saying they are going to happen next year, but over a period of time, you will see more extensions to the IIB portfolio. But at the same time, IIB had a wish that we should have something at the very core, and that core would kind of enable you to kind of fan out to other areas. And that's where the concept of the BA standard came in. And the BA standard was kind of created to give you idea about all the perspectives that a BA can perform. And I believe ECBA will become the foundational certificate, after which you can do other certification. So right now that demand isn't there, but I believe in next 2 to 3 years time, it would be expected that if you want to do CBDA or CCBA or CBAP, you must be an ECBA first. Okay. Then obviously, as I said, there is a lot greater emphasis on practical scenarios. And there is also a very strong focus on a framework we call BACCM, Business Analysis Core Concept Model. And I will show you how the new standard kind of marries BABOK into BACCM. Since the exam is becoming a little bit more complex as I speak to you will have little bit more time to appear for the test. So earlier we had 50 questions, 60 minutes. But now for the same 50 questions, you have 75 minutes. So you got a little bit more time because the questions are going to take a little longer to understand and answer. So this is the mapping that I was trying to show you, how IIB is defining every task. And I have taken one task, I think it's called Plan BA approach. And we always had purpose. In Babok, we always had purpose, and the same purpose is repeated here. But we brought in an element called value, like how this task adds value to our BA activities. Then solution is typically what we had it as output. If you look at the current Babok guide, it'll probably very well match with solution. Guidelines were always present in Babok as well, so that's also continued. Techniques were present in Babok, that's also continued. Stakeholders were present in Babok, that's continued. But then one more element came in, which is called change. That means what is the real change that you will see as part of your BA work? And because it was 7 elements, we added one more element here called notes so that we can give you some extra input from our side. So this is something that we have created, and this is already available to our learners in our new study guide. The new scheme is already rolled out, so there is no question of going back to the old scheme. So that's why don't worry, whatever has happened has happened. Now we have to get ready with a new scheme. But only thing, if somebody is writing it in French or some Japanese language, they still have access to the old scheme. But I'm really doubtful anybody here who is planning to take the exam in Japanese or French or Russian. In fact, IIB would like to become multilingual over a period of time, and that effort is already on because BAs can speak many languages, not only English. But the good part is there is no change to the exam booking process, although the exam fees have gone up. So the exam fees have gone for a $50 change, roughly, because the new scheme required a lot of work at IIB's end, and they probably would like to recover some of the cost that they have incurred. Okay, so this is in a nutshell what is changing. So obviously the earlier reference guide had been BABA only with 4 knowledge areas. So now it's BABA with 6 knowledge areas plus BA standard. But one small help which has come in is that we have reduced the number of techniques from 50 to 20. So there has been a significant reduction in the number of techniques that you have to cover. So otherwise, it looks to be a little bit more complex to me from the new standard perspective. So how do we actually go about getting yourself ECBA certified in a time-bound manner? So the first point is to make up your mind. Let me tell you, it might sound very kind of funny that making up your mind will make things happen, but it's true. For example, I completed all 7 IIBA certifications. How did I do that? Because I made up my mind that this is something I need to complete because I am planning to build my career on top of IIBA certifications. I'm a business analyst, I may be a consultant, I may be an author. So it makes tremendous sense for me to get IIBA certified. And I decided to get all the certifications done, and that's how I did it. Similarly, if you decide to get yourself certified, you can do it. It's not very easy, but it's not very difficult either. So as long as you are willing to put about 100 hours of study time, you will get this done. And trust me, the moment you study, you get trained, and you get certified, the benefits are going to come. Have no doubt about it. Have no doubt about it. I have seen it with thousands of students. I'm not talking from 1, 2, 3, 4 students' perspective. I've seen so many of them finding much better roles, much better jobs, much better companies. Many of them have been able to migrate from one country to another, some of them from Nigeria to Canada, Ukraine to Canada, wherever you wish to go. And in fact, in many of the applications I see today, if you are applying for an immigration process, they are checking whether you are certified in a specific skill or not. Then, obviously, the second point is to get trained. The third point is to prepare smart. No, this is something important. Again, remember, if you are not preparing in a smart manner, you are probably wasting a lot of effort and energy and money, which is not desirable. Then, of course, we have to apply for the exam. And then the fifth point is setting up infra for the exam. And I'll tell you why it is more important for ECBA compared to other certifications. And of course, the last point is to take the test. So, as I said, first point, make up your mind. And trust me, at this time, take 5 seconds or 10 seconds and think of a date by which you would like to get yourself certified. Give yourself 10 weeks' time, 10 to 12 weeks' time. That's more than enough for all of you. Some of you will come back and say, LN, I am working. 99% of our students are working professionals and they still get it done. So it's not that it's something undoable. So as long as you are willing to put in about 8 to 10 hours a week, 10 weeks, you will be done. If you have more time in hand, you can do it faster. Okay. And again, remember, we've seen it umpteen times. If you are not getting yourself certified, you're possibly losing 10 to 15% of your salary, which you could easily get by making this investment. And not only in monetary terms, though when you go and work at your workplace, people will be more respectful towards you. They will
Yeah.
give more weightage to your opinion. All these things will happen once you get yourself certified.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let me come to the part of getting yourself trained. ECBA, in fact, does not require any formal training. Okay, let me be very honest with you. But if you get trained, it becomes much easier for you. Without training and guidance, things could take another 6 months to 1 year more. And I've seen people like, I see most of our students completing in 5, 6 months' time, especially on CBAP, which is a much more complex standard. People take up to 5 years. And sometimes I wonder, why do you need that much time to complete something? And the delay that you made, like that 5 year delay, it has costed you a lot in opportunity. For this time, you cannot apply for a better role. You cannot demand a better salary. So all these opportunities are going away from your side. Okay. Then, of course, you have choice of many training providers. To my knowledge, there are at least 200 plus training providers in the world who teach ECBA. So when you are looking at any training provider for yourself, look at their past success rate, the quality of faculty that they employ, the quality of content they provide. Do they provide success guarantee, which is something that we provide? How frequently they offer the training, and post training, what kind of support you get from them? And sometimes I actually get a lot of students from other training institutes coming and asking us for support, which is a bit surprising, because we say you paid money to them and then you come and ask me for support, because those training providers, they just deliver the training and they forget about the students, which is
Mm,
not nice, but that's the reality. Then I will come to preparing smart, and I'll tell you, a lot of students are often not very clear what's in scope of the exam. Although we say babak, it does not mean everything in babak is in the exam. So
mm,
please remember that. Like, say, for example, as I said, 30 techniques are not in scope. There is a chapter called Perspectives, which is not in scope. But if you do not get that information, you tend to study the entire Babak, because somebody said that Babak is the guide for the exam, which is true, but not the entire Babak. Then also, sometimes people are studying old question pattern, which is not a nice thing, but that's what happens, because updating questions is a humongous task, and I think we have been kind of working on it for last 3 months, and we have been able to update our question bank. But not many providers will do that, because they don't see a return on that kind of investment. So we also made quite nice mind maps for you. So this is one mind map that I have presented in front of you. We have other mind maps as well. So these mind maps kind of give you a very high level overview of how Babok is structured and how the tasks and inputs and outputs relate to each other. Of course, we will talk about these mind maps in a lot more detail in our training, but today at least I'm giving you this mind map. I'm not very sure if you can download it from our website. If you need this mind map, let me know. I will send you a high quality image of this mind map. Then again, techniques do play a very critical role. And there are many techniques in Babok. So we have made a very nice mapping between various situations and techniques, so that you can clearly see, if you're facing this problem, what kind of technique you should be leveraging. Then coming back to practice questions, this is where I typically tell my learners that about 60% of your time should go in preparing for the exam through model questions. Because many of you may not be writing any more school tests or college tests. So it's always, there is a nervousness, when we prepare for an exam. So please go through all the questions that is provided to you. We provide about 1,000 plus model questions for ECBA, which we believe is more than enough. And of course, when the questions are framed, they are sometimes framed a little bit curiously, or kind of to confuse you. Sometimes they'll have very close options. Sometimes they'll use words like except, but not. So kind of, if you don't observe those words, you may make mistake. And at Adaptive, we give you 6 simulations, which is kind of aligned to the IIBA new scheme. And that is pretty enough, good enough to write for the final test. Sorry. Then coming to the applying for the exam, ECBA is the easiest exam to apply. There's not much expectation from you, but you have to pay the fees to IIBA to get yourself enrolled. And the test is conducted virtually, remote proctored manner, from an organization called PSI. So PSI is the organization which is conducting the test on behalf of IIBA. Now I think it will be pretty much available. I think last month maybe there was a little bit of a rush. In fact, in I think a couple of weeks back we had 22 students completing ECBA in 1 week because there was so much rush during that week. Everybody wanted to take it in the old scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then coming down, this is very important for you to remember because ECBA can be taken only from your own location. Either it's your home or it's your office. You need a distraction free place and you need some infrastructure to be in place, like having two Windows based personal computers. Don't use office computer for the test. It's strongly discouraged by IIBA because you may not have the remote possibility of administering some software. When the test happens, it actually installs a browser called secure browser. So unless they can install that browser on your computer, they will not let you take the test. So you should have admin access to the computer, which is difficult if it's an office computer. Have two good internet connections. Things can always fail. That's why two computers. One external camera, because a lot of times people are taking the test on their laptop or the camera may not be that good. No, the proctor has to see you very clearly. The proctor has to read your identity card very clearly. So having an external camera always helps. Of course, have some power backup because the whole test process will take about 2 hours. So that's why we are saying 2 hours. And then you also should have a clean desk. Like you should not have anything around you while you are taking the test, and nobody should walk into the room when you are taking the test. You should not use your cell phone or any other such device while taking the test. Of course, you have to take the test to get yourself certified. And remember, all international tests are based on the guides that has been prescribed. Like for ECBA, it's the BABOK guide plus the BA standard. What we have done at Adaptive is to merge these two guides, remove the unnecessary components from the guidebooks, and created a coherent study guide. So you don't have to read separately the standard, separately the Baba guide. Our study guide contains both. And it's also much more concise compared to what you see in Babok. And typically, what many of our learners have told us that when you start the test, the initial questions are harder. So we generally ask students to start at question number 21 so that you see the middle portion of the questions, take them, and then come back to 1 to 20 at the end. Some students also have a tendency to getting stuck at a question. It's a very natural tendency. What's the answer? What's the answer? Don't get stuck. It's a time bound test, so you can actually mark it for review and come back and review it later. One more tip I would like to give, do not leave any question unanswered. There is no negative marking in the test. So even if you get it wrong, you'll get zero. But there are only four choices, no? A, B, C, D. So probably what you have chosen, like D or C, could be the right option as well. The option has to be one of them. So I always say attempt all 50 questions. Don't leave any question unanswered. And keep a watch on time. Now, our simulations are timed simulations. Okay, then I will just quickly take you through how Adaptive and Sterling Tech can assist you in your BA career. Sterling also does a lot of job-oriented help. So maybe if you're looking for a job in UK, Veronica would be very glad to assist you. We are not so much into placement. We are primarily into training. So we have something called triple guarantee. I will talk about it as I may sound like boasting off, but I'm quite sure there is no other institute in the world which has the same quality of faculty that we have. Take it down in writing, no problem. Nobody can compete us in that space. We have been focused on IIB programs for 8, 9 years now. And hence, and that's the only thing we do. We don't do anything. We don't do PMP, ITIL, Scrum, nothing. Just IIBA training. And that's what has enabled us to kind of give you this kind of guarantees. A lot of people ask me actually, how do you really give this guarantee? We said, yeah, we have tested the process, it works. And that's how we are able to give the guarantee. Sometimes, if you look at CBAP, one single guarantee costs us $300, and we have taken only $600 from a student. So the moment we hit that guarantee, we lose 50% of our income. It's okay. It doesn't happen very often, so it works. So one, we have success guarantee that allows you to take 2 free retakes if you have joined our live classes, master classes. Then our programs are guaranteed to run for last 6 years or 7 years. We haven't cancelled even one session. If the session is there, will happen. We also have something called money back guarantee. In case you don't pass with us, whatever money is left with us, we will give you back. So if you don't pass, we get $0. So these are the faculty members that you will meet during the program. Other than Tom sometimes takes ECBA, but not CCBA CBAP. Otherwise, Victoria is on the board of IIBA. Bindu is IIBA head of Europe. Laura has been teaching this subject for about 10 years now. Tom is a very experienced data analytics professional. And Olivia is also a very senior professional. She's also a chapter leader for IIBA. So all the people that we have at least 20 years in business analysis, and they all have been very closely associated with IIBA as well. I think you can go and read about us. We've got about 1,000 reviews available on our website. Sometimes we do get 1 stars also, not that we get all 5 stars, but that's mostly because of sometimes language issues. Sometimes people say, no, your language is like this, that. But I always keep telling, your focus is to pass the exam, not question my English knowledge. And let me tell you, English is my third language that I speak, not the first language. First, second, third. So don't judge me on my English. Okay, judge me on my knowledge, clarity, not on English. But some people would judge me on English. It's okay. Then coming down to the offer that I talked to you, there is a coupon code called ECBA 300. This is something that you can take on our ultimate products. So ultimate products are something that allows you to join the sessions during the week or weekend. So you have flexibility on both weekday, weekend option. It also comes with unlimited resource access duration. That means you have no restriction on the resource access period, much more extended support as well. So if you are looking for more support, Ultimate would be a good product to look for. And you also may qualify for a free Gen AI course, but that's limited. We only have 5 seats. So if you're lucky enough, you will also be able to join that Gen AI course, which is quite helpful because Gen AI is kind of catching up. Having an idea about Gen AI is very valuable. But that we run once a quarter. So thank you for being with us till this far. And I and Veronica would be very happy to take any of your questions if you have. So you can put it into the Q&A tab and we will pick it up from there. Or I think I probably have enabled all of you to speak. No, not all of you, but I think I'm going to make all of you speak. So if you wish to speak, you can unmute yourself and ask questions. The only person I'm not able to do that is Marwan. Oh, I think Marwan also worked now. Pamela, Victoria. Yeah, there are quite a few people I haven't. So let me enable all of you. So see if your microphone is switched on, and then you can ask questions to us, or you can type it in the chat window as well. Both are fine. What is the total fee? I didn't hear you very well. Can you be a bit louder, please? What is the fee for this program? Oh, Rajiv. We have different plans. So something like on-demand training that starts at 199. Then there is a guided training. Then there is a live class. Then there is something called Ultimate. So go to our website, go to ECBA training page. I think the best thing I can show you as well. Let me see if I can show you that. Just 1 second. Let me say, I believe I'm sharing my entire screen. Oh no, I'm sharing the presentation. So let me go to our website, go to this link. It's quite easy to find. Homepage, go to courses. Okay. click on ECBA Masterclass. So this is what I was talking to you. ECBA Masterclass, ECBA Guided Training, ECBA On-Demand Training. So if I go to ECBA Masterclass and go to the pricing option here, you will see the pricing for different modules. This is one product that we have. If you are looking at on-demand, you can look at on-demand training as well. So this is coming at enroll. If I go, this starts at 199. And you can also buy the exam voucher with us, but that will come at an additional price point. Okay.
Thank you.
Good. Anybody else with any other question?
I think there's a
There's somebody who has
question.
raised hand.
There
Let
is,
me
and it's
see who has raised hand.
hi Ellen. There is a question in the
Okay.
chat there.
Okay, let me see in the chat. Not in the chat. I think maybe the Q&A.
Oh, in the question, the Q, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, Q&A, yeah. Rodney has a good question. Is there an expiration or recertification needed for the ECBA? The good question is no. There is no expiration for ECBA. So once you're an ECBA, you're always an ECBA. That's a good
Yeah.
plus point. And there is no recertification needed for ECBA. Recertification is needed for CCBA and CBAP, the second and third level.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think there's another one.
JL has a question. Okay. We do have SQL and Power BI training, but not as part of ECBA training. That comes as part of our data analytics bootcamp. So in our data analytics bootcamp, we cover SQL and Power BI, we cover Excel as well, but not in this particular course that I am talking today. Yeah. Okay.
There's one more from Victoria.
1 second. Victoria has a good question. I am currently in the ECBA guided course, but it was for the old version of the test. Can I still use the material to prepare for the new version of ECBA? No.
No.
Okay. So Victoria, we have updated the content and you will get the updated content. See, the new content isn't completely different from the old content. It has about 80% commonality, but 20% difference. But it is still better to prepare with the new content than the old content. And we are going to give our existing learners the new content as well. So it's not that you have to pay anything extra to access the new content. It will be available to you. Samane has a question. I'm doing the self-paced training. Yeah. You will see a
Tortita de
change.
papa.
Yeah. You'll see the changed content. Don't worry.
Sí.
There's no additional cost for the updated content. Okay. Good.
May I ask?
There's two
Yes,
dogs
please.
with hands raised.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am wondering if all the packages you offer have the money back guarantee. I mean, any we choose.
No. Money back guarantee is available only on live classes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the digital courses, we don't have money back guarantee because we haven't trained you. So that's the discomfort that we have. So we always believe if somebody has been trained with the faculty members and in spite of that, the person doesn't do well, then we are bound to kind of be responsible for your outcome.
But then what would be the difference? And I'm asking about the content of the training.
Baile, prepárame unos chilaquiles, ándale.
Sorry. Content, there is
Prepárame
no
unos chilaquiles.
Okay, can we mute
Sorry, there's
Edgar?
somebody
Edgar
speaking.
Sanchez. Maybe you need to mute now.
Okay. There is no difference in the content in all products, like whether you buy on demand or live class or ultimate, but the level of support that you get, the time with the faculty that you get is different. Like on demand does not have any faculty time, whereas live classes have plenty of faculty time. Ultimate has even more faculty interaction time. That's where the things differ.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good. Anybody else with any other question?
What about the
All good so far?
simulation? I think someone says
Okay,
Holly.
let me see. Where is the question coming for me? Q&A. Okay.
There's quite about 3 new ones.
Okay. What about the simulations? The simulations are designed to give you a time-based test based on the new format. And you have 6 simulations available to you. And to qualify for the success guarantee, you should be scoring 85% in the simulations, but you can take the same simulation twice. So if you don't score 85% in the first attempt, go and review the questions which you did not get right. And when you do it second time, you'll definitely get it right because it's the same question that is being asked again. So if you score 85% in all simulations, you are covered under success guarantee for the live classes. Okay. I have to leave the call now. Okay, 3 months.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you. No worries.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so when looking at all your packages, whether it's the ultimate or the on demand or such,
Yes.
which one has your best success rate as far as individuals passing their exams? So if I'm sitting here not sure
Typically
which is the
the
best fit.
masterclass. The masterclass has probably the best results.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Farjana has a question saying, will you be providing material in this webinar? What kind of material? This presentation we will send you. Recording we will send you. Other than that, there is nothing else to share from this webinar. Okay. Pauline has a question because I have done the simulations with the old ones. The new simulations will come to you maybe this week or so. So please go through the new simulations if you haven't taken the test, which I believe is true. So don't rely on the old simulations because IIBA has changed the exam pattern. So we also have changed our exam pattern. Okay. Any other question, anybody else? All good? Okay. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us today. Thank you, Veronica, for being a host with
Thank
me.
you.
And I hope we will have many more opportunities where we'll talk about other programs as well, maybe CBAP, maybe CBDA, maybe something else, maybe on generative AI. And folks, do join us whenever you get an opportunity to join us. If you have any questions about our program, yeah, Pauline, it has not been updated. As I said, it will take about a week's time. It's in the very last quality check process. Today, we got the thing that it's more or less ready. So it's going to come to production for our testing, but we have to test it before we give it to you. So maybe it will take about a week for you to get access. And then I will just show you the contact details if you want to kind of reach out to us. Our email ID is pretty simple. It's CS customer success @adaptiveus.com. That's the best email ID you can write to us. And someone from our team will reach out to you very, very quickly. Okay. Thank you so much and have a lovely day, lovely evening.
Thank you.
Wherever
Thank you,
you are.
everyone.
And
All
we
right.
will see each other again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Catherine.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye.
Bye-bye.